Introduction: Unveiling the Courage Within. In a quiet, picturesque town nestled between rolling hills and lush greenery, there lived a woman named Sarah. Her life had been a testament to resilience and kindness, a story woven with threads of compassion and hope. Sarah had always been the pillar of strength for her family and a beacon of light in her community. For years, life had flowed gently for Sarah. Her days were filled with the simple joys of tending to her garden, sharing smiles with neighbors, and cherishing the laughter of her children and grandchildren. The town, too, had a peaceful rhythm, where the changing seasons painted vibrant hues across the landscape, and the locals shared stories around cozy firesides. But, as with all stories, there came a moment when the tranquil waters of life stirred, introducing a challenge that would test the very essence of Sarah's character. It all began one ordinary afternoon when Sarah, alone in her quiet moments, discovered an unfamiliar presence within her body, a small, uninvited guest in the form of a lump nestled in her breast. Fear gripped her heart, its icy fingers squeezing the air from her lungs. Sarah couldn't ignore it, she couldn't wish it away. The lump did not hurt, but its unwelcome presence cast a shadow of doubt and concern over her otherwise serene existence. In these moments of vulnerability, Sarah's inner strength shone brighter than ever. She knew she could not let fear paralyze her. With unwavering determination, she decided to face this challenge head-on. Her first step was to seek the guidance of her family doctor, a kind and wise soul who had cared for generations of townsfolk. This decision marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey, a journey filled with unexpected twists and turns, with lessons of courage, love, and resilience. Sarah's story, one of an ordinary woman facing an extraordinary challenge, would soon become a testament to the power of hope, the importance of early detection, and the unbreakable bonds of family. As we embark on this poignant journey with Sarah, we will witness the strength of the human spirit and the importance of community in times of adversity. Through her experiences, we will learn about breast cancer, how it can touch anyone's life, how it can be prevented and treated, and most importantly, how it can be conquered. Join us as we turn the pages of Sarah's life, a life enriched by love, tested by hardship, and ultimately illuminated by the resilient spirit that dwells within us all. In the face of uncertainty, Sarah's story will serve as a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, we can find the light within ourselves to overcome the most formidable challenges.
Chapter 1: The Worried Woman. Once upon a time in the peaceful town of Harmonyville, where life moved at a gentle pace and the townsfolk exchanged smiles like currency, there lived a woman named Sarah. She was known throughout the town as the embodiment of kindness and the epitome of a caring heart. With her flowing silver hair and twinkling blue eyes, she had a soothing presence that put even the most troubled souls at ease. Sarah's life had always followed the rhythm of the seasons. She tended to her vibrant garden with meticulous care, coaxing flowers to bloom and vegetables to thrive. Her home was a haven of warmth, filled with the laughter of her children and the sweet melodies of her grandchildren's voices. Yet, as serene as her life appeared, there were moments of solitude when Sarah contemplated the world beyond her garden. It was during one of these quiet moments that her life took an unexpected turn. On a crisp autumn afternoon, while the leaves outside danced their final waltz to the ground, Sarah found herself alone in her cozy reading nook. She'd nestled into her favorite armchair with a cup of chamomile tea, a well-worn book, and her thoughts. It was then that she sensed something unusual, something that didn't belong in the harmony of her world. Gently caressing her breast as she often did during these tranquil moments, Sarah's fingers detected a subtle irregularity. There, beneath the softness of her skin, she felt it, a small, seemingly innocuous lump. It didn't hurt, but it felt different, foreign, like a whisper of concern in the serenade of her life. She placed her book aside, her thoughts wandering in search of explanations. In the stillness of her cozy reading nook, fear began to take root. Sarah had always been a brave woman, unafraid of the challenges life presented, but this was different. This was something she couldn't ignore, couldn't dismiss as inconsequential. For days and nights that followed, the lump remained a constant presence in her thoughts. It became a silent companion, accompanying her through her daily routines and even into her dreams. Each morning, as she looked at herself in the mirror, those twinkling blue eyes would search for reassurance, but instead found only uncertainty. Sarah knew she couldn't keep this to herself. She decided that it was time to share her secret with someone who could help. She confided in her closest friend, Martha, and together they made the decision that would shape the rest of Sarah's journey. She would go to the doctor. With every step she took towards her family doctor's office, the weight of her worry seemed to grow. What could this lump be? Why was it there? As she arrived at the doctor's doorstep, she couldn't help but wonder if life would ever return to the peaceful harmony she had always known.
Chapter 2: A Visit to the Doctor. Sarah's heart raced as she pushed open the door to the cozy waiting room of Dr. Mitchell's clinic. The familiar scent of antiseptic mixed with the soothing notes of a piano softly playing in the background did little to calm her nerves. She glanced around at the other patients, some flipping through outdated magazines, others lost in their thoughts, and a few whispering hushed conversations. Martha, her faithful friend, sat beside her, offering a reassuring smile that masked her own concern. Sarah clutched a small notebook tightly in her hand, filled with questions and fears she hoped to address during her visit. After what felt like an eternity, the nurse called Sarah's name. She followed the nurse down a hallway lined with framed medical degrees and awards. Each step felt like a descent into the unknown. When they finally reached the examination room, the nurse instructed Sarah to change into a hospital gown and wait for the doctor. As Sarah changed, she couldn't help but steal a glance at herself in the mirror. The gown, crisp and white, seemed to accentuate her vulnerability. She took a deep breath and reminded herself that this visit was the first step towards understanding and, hopefully, finding a solution to her mysterious lump. Dr. Mitchell, a warm-hearted man with salt and pepper hair and a comforting demeanor, entered the room. He greeted Sarah with a kind smile and asked her to sit on the examination table. His eyes, filled with empathy, noticed the nervousness in her face. "Sarah, tell me what's been bothering you," he said in a gentle voice. With a lump in her throat, Sarah mustered the courage to explain her discovery, describing the lump she had found in her breast and how it had consumed her thoughts in recent days. Dr. Mitchell listened attentively, nodding as she spoke, his reassuring presence offering her a lifeline of hope.
After Sarah had shared her worries, Dr. Mitchell conducted a thorough examination. He gently felt the lump, asking Sarah if she felt any pain or discomfort. His experienced hands moved with care, and Sarah found solace in his professionalism. Following the examination, Dr. Mitchell ordered some tests, including a mammogram and a biopsy, to better understand the nature of the lump. As he explained the procedures, he assured Sarah that they were necessary steps in uncovering the truth about her condition. The doctor's kindness and patience helped alleviate some of Sarah's anxiety. She had feared judgment or dismissiveness, but instead, she found empathy and support. Dr. Mitchell's reassuring words gave her strength to face the uncertainty that lay ahead. Leaving the clinic that day, Sarah felt a mixture of emotions. While fear still lingered, she had taken the first crucial step toward confronting her health issue. She knew that, regardless of the outcome, she had a compassionate doctor and a loyal friend by her side. Her journey into the world of medical tests and diagnoses had begun, and she hoped it would lead to answers, healing, and ultimately, a return to the peaceful harmony that had defined her life in Harmonyville.
Chapter 3: Understanding the Disease. In the days that followed Sarah's visit to Dr. Mitchell's clinic, she found herself waiting anxiously for the results of her tests. Every phone call, every envelope in the mailbox, seemed to hold the answer to the question that had consumed her thoughts: what was the lump in her breast? Finally, the day came when the phone rang, and the caller ID displayed the clinic's number. Sarah's heart pounded as she answered. It was Dr. Mitchell himself, his voice filled with both compassion and concern. He gently explained that the tests had confirmed her fears: she had breast cancer. Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as the doctor spoke, but she fought to maintain her composure. Dr. Mitchell, understanding her shock and distress, assured her that they would discuss her condition and the path forward in detail during her next appointment. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah immersed herself in research about breast cancer. She sought information online and at the local library, learning about the different types, stages, and treatment options. She wanted to be informed, to understand the adversary she was about to face. The day of her appointment arrived, and Sarah, along with Martha by her side, returned to Dr. Mitchell's office. The doctor began by explaining what breast cancer was and how it developed. He used simple language and diagrams to help Sarah grasp the concept. "Sarah," he began, "breast cancer is a disease that occurs when the cells in the breast start growing uncontrollably. Normally, our bodies regulate cell growth and division, but sometimes, something goes wrong, and these cells begin to form a lump or tumor." Sarah listened intently, absorbing the information. She realized that this disease was not her fault, nor was it something she could have prevented through sheer willpower or good habits. Cancer, she understood, could happen to anyone. Dr. Mitchell continued, "There are risk factors that can increase the likelihood of developing breast cancer. Some of these, like genetics and age, we can't control. But there are also lifestyle choices that can play a role, such as diet, exercise, and alcohol consumption." He stressed the importance of regular checkups and early detection, emphasizing that catching breast cancer in its early stages greatly improved the chances of successful treatment. Sarah nodded, understanding that being proactive about her health had been crucial in identifying the lump in its early stages. Martha chimed in, asking about prevention. Dr. Mitchell provided guidance on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, which included eating a balanced diet, staying physically active, and limiting alcohol intake. He also reminded Sarah that quitting smoking, if applicable, could further reduce cancer risks. As Sarah absorbed this wealth of information, she felt a glimmer of hope. While the diagnosis was frightening, she now knew more about the disease and what she could do to fight it. She was determined to explore her treatment options and do whatever it took to regain her health. With newfound understanding and a supportive friend by her side, Sarah was ready to embark on the challenging journey of battling breast cancer. She knew that knowledge was her most powerful weapon, and she would use it to face the uncertain road ahead with courage and resilience.
Chapter 4: Prevention and Early Detection. In the days following her conversation with Dr. Mitchell, Sarah became even more determined to understand how she could prevent the spread of breast cancer and ensure her recovery. Armed with the knowledge he had provided, she delved deeper into the world of breast health. Sarah began her journey toward prevention with small, yet significant, lifestyle changes. She cleared her pantry of processed foods and stocked it with fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. She knew that a balanced diet would not only contribute to her overall health, but also strengthen her body's ability to fight the disease. Every morning, she laced up her sneakers and embarked on a brisk walk through Harmonyville's peaceful streets. The rhythmic pounding of her footsteps provided a comforting cadence, and the fresh air invigorated her spirit. Exercise was her way of taking control of her health and strengthening her body for the battles ahead. Sarah also made the decision to limit her alcohol consumption, recognizing that excessive drinking had been linked to an increased risk of breast cancer. It was a challenging change for her, as the occasional glass of wine had been a simple pleasure in her life. However, she understood that this sacrifice was necessary to safeguard her well-being. She shared her journey with her family and friends, who rallied around her with unwavering support. They joined her on walks, cooked nutritious meals together, and even helped her find new non-alcoholic beverages to enjoy during social gatherings. The sense of unity and love that enveloped her was a balm to her soul. Dr. Mitchell had emphasized the importance of regular breast self-exams, and Sarah diligently incorporated them into her routine. In front of the bathroom mirror, she would gently feel her breasts for any changes or abnormalities. It was a practice that allowed her to maintain control over her health and detect any potential issues early. In addition to self-exams, Dr. Mitchell had scheduled regular mammograms for Sarah. These specialized X-ray screenings were vital for early detection of breast cancer. Sarah knew that they might be uncomfortable, but she was willing to endure any discomfort if it meant catching the disease in its earliest stages. One afternoon, as Sarah awaited the results of her latest mammogram, she reflected on how far she had come in her journey toward prevention and early detection. The lump that had once filled her with dread had become a catalyst for positive change in her life. She realized that breast cancer, while a formidable adversary, had also become a source of empowerment and resilience. When Dr. Mitchell called with the results, Sarah's heart raced. The doctor's voice was calm and reassuring as he delivered the news. There were no signs of any new lumps or abnormalities in her breast tissue. Relief washed over Sarah like a gentle wave, and she thanked Dr. Mitchell for his guidance and support. As Sarah continued her efforts in prevention and early detection, she became a beacon of inspiration in Harmonyville. Her story encouraged others to take control of their own health, to make mindful choices, and to cherish the power of early detection. In the face of adversity, she had found strength in knowledge and a community united in hope. With each passing day, Sarah's determination to overcome breast cancer grew stronger. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she faced the future with newfound confidence and the unwavering support of her loved ones. Chapter 5: Treatment Options. As Sarah continued her journey to battle breast cancer, she knew that understanding her treatment options was essential. With the support of Dr. Mitchell and her family, she began exploring the various ways to combat this disease. During one of her appointments with Dr. Mitchell, he carefully explained the available treatment options for breast cancer. He emphasized that the choice of treatment would depend on several factors, including the type of breast cancer, its stage, and her overall health. Surgery. Dr. Mitchell discussed the possibility of surgery, which could involve removing the tumor or the entire breast. Sarah listened intently, knowing that surgery might be a crucial step in her journey to recovery. The doctor reassured her that there were advanced techniques to minimize scarring and provide the best possible cosmetic results. Chemotherapy. The doctor explained that chemotherapy might be necessary to destroy cancer cells that had spread beyond the breast. Sarah understood that this treatment might come with side effects, but she was willing to endure them for the sake of her health. Radiation therapy. Dr. Mitchell mentioned radiation therapy, which used high-energy rays to target and kill cancer cells. He explained that it was often used after surgery to eliminate any remaining cancer cells in the breast area. Targeted therapy. For certain types of breast cancer, targeted therapy was an option. This treatment was designed to specifically target the molecules or pathways that promoted cancer growth, minimizing harm to healthy cells. Hormone therapy. Sarah learned about hormone therapy, which was often used when breast cancer was hormone receptor positive. This treatment aimed to block hormones that could fuel cancer growth. Clinical trials. Dr. Mitchell also discussed the possibility of participating in clinical trials. These trials offered new and innovative treatments that could potentially be more effective or have fewer side effects than traditional therapies. As Sarah absorbed this information, she felt a mixture of apprehension and determination. The path ahead was daunting, but she knew that understanding her treatment options was the first step in regaining control of her life. Dr. Mitchell assured her that they would make treatment decisions together, tailoring the approach to her specific case. Sarah also sought the advice of support groups and other survivors in Harmonyville who had faced similar challenges. Their stories of resilience and survival provided her with hope and a sense of camaraderie. She realized that she was not alone on this journey and that there was strength in sharing experiences. With her treatment plan taking shape and a network of support around her, Sarah knew that she was ready to face the next chapter of her life, the battle against breast cancer. Though the road ahead would be filled with challenges, she was determined to emerge victorious and return to the loving arms of her family, who had been her unwavering source of strength throughout this arduous journey.
Chapter 6: Sarah's journey to recovery. Sarah's treatment journey began with surgery. With unwavering determination, she entered the operating room, knowing that this procedure was the first step in her battle against breast cancer. As the anesthesia took hold, her thoughts turned to her family, the supportive community of Harmonyville, and the hope that this surgery would bring her one step closer to recovery. When she woke up, groggy and sore, her family was there by her side. Their smiling faces were a beacon of love and comfort in the sterile hospital room. Dr. Mitchell explained that the surgery had gone well, and they had successfully removed the cancerous tumor. Recovery from surgery was a slow and sometimes painful process, but Sarah was resilient. She focused on her breathing exercises and followed her doctor's advice diligently. Her family helped her with daily tasks, providing her with the strength and motivation to keep moving forward. Chemotherapy followed the surgery, a formidable adversary in its own right. Sarah was prepared for the potential side effects, hair loss, fatigue, and nausea. But she faced each round of treatment with unwavering courage, reminding herself that these were temporary challenges on the path to healing. Radiation therapy came next, and Sarah's optimism remained unshaken. She understood the importance of this treatment in preventing any lingering cancer cells from re-emerging. With each session, she imagined the healing energy of the radiation eradicating the disease within her. Throughout her treatments, Sarah continued her healthy lifestyle habits. Her family joined her on daily walks, and they shared nourishing meals together. The love and support they provided were essential in bolstering her spirits during the challenging times. Sarah also found solace in the support group she had joined. The stories and experiences of fellow survivors reminded her that she was not alone on this journey. Their shared strength and resilience gave her the motivation to keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacles. As the months passed, Sarah's strength grew. She completed her treatments, her hair began to regrow, and her energy returned. Her doctor's visits became less frequent, and her outlook on life shifted from battling cancer to embracing the joys of living each day to the fullest. One sunny afternoon, as Sarah walked through the park with her family, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. The journey had been arduous, but it had also been a profound source of growth. She had learned about her own strength and resilience, the power of love and support, and the importance of hope in the face of adversity. Sarah's journey to recovery was not just about surviving, it was about thriving. She knew that she would carry the scars of her battle with breast cancer, both physical and emotional, but they were a testament to her strength and her unwavering spirit. With her family by her side and the support of her community, Sarah was ready to embrace the future with open arms. She had emerged from the darkness of cancer into the light of a new day, determined to savor every moment, cherishing the simple joys of life that had always defined her in the tranquil town of Harmonyville.
Chapter 7: A Happy Ending. The day Sarah had longed for had finally arrived. Her journey through the turbulent waters of breast cancer had led her to this moment, a moment filled with hope, joy, and a sense of triumph. It was the day she completed her treatment and heard the words she had yearned for from Dr. Mitchell: "You're in remission." Sarah's heart swelled with gratitude as she absorbed the news. Her eyes welled up with tears of relief, and a radiant smile spread across her face. The weight that had pressed on her chest for so long had finally lifted. She was free from the grip of cancer, and her future stretched out before her like an open road. As she stepped out of Dr. Mitchell's office, she was met with a chorus of cheers and applause. Her family had gathered to celebrate this momentous occasion. Her children, grandchildren, and dear friend Martha enveloped her in their warm embrace, tears of happiness mingling with her own. The townsfolk of Harmonyville had also come together to celebrate Sarah's victory. They had organized a surprise gathering in the town square, where colorful banners, balloons, and a jubilant crowd awaited her. Sarah's story had touched their hearts, and they had rallied around her with love and support. Amid the music, laughter, and the cheers of her community, Sarah felt a profound sense of gratitude. She knew that her journey had not been easy, but it had been made bearable by the unwavering love of her family and the caring embrace of her town. She had faced the darkness of cancer and emerged stronger, not only as an individual but also as a symbol of resilience for her community. In the days that followed, Sarah's life took on a new meaning. She cherished each sunrise and sunset, every laughter-filled family dinner, and the simple pleasures of tending to her garden. The lessons she had learned during her battle with breast cancer remained etched in her heart: the importance of early detection, the power of a healthy lifestyle, and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. Sarah became an advocate for breast cancer awareness in Harmonyville. She shared her story with others, encouraging them to prioritize their health and take proactive measures for early detection. She knew that her journey was not just a personal triumph, but also a source of inspiration for those around her. With a heart full of gratitude and a newfound zest for life, Sarah returned to her role as the pillar of strength in her family and the beacon of kindness in her community. She continued to embrace each day with unwavering hope, knowing that even in the face of adversity, there was always the possibility of a happy ending. And so, in the tranquil town of Harmonyville, where life flowed gently like a quiet river, Sarah's story became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that with love, support, and unwavering determination, even the darkest of storms could be weathered, and a new dawn could always be found.